Bill Gates doesn't think of himself as some guy who got super rich making bad software. Bill Gates thinks of himself as God.
Chapter 1. Bill Gates, a hero turned villain. Imagine the transformation of a man once hailed as a hero for his charitable work, now exposed by the Me Too movement as a serial womanizer. Who is the real Bill Gates? Bill Gates, a name synonymous with success and philanthropy, has undergone a dramatic metamorphosis in public perception over the years. The 65-year-old has been tangled in alleged sexual misconduct with female employees of Microsoft and the Gates Foundation for years, as well as unsettling connections to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The recent bombshell came out as he and his wife Melinda, the supposed model couple of the non-profit foundation world, announced their divorce after 27 years of marriage. Indeed, with success comes controversy. Uncover the cutthroat tactics employed against competitors, the accusations of monopolistic practices, and the scandals that tarnished Gates' once golden reputation. Chapter 2. The Genius with a Troubled Soul. Behind the genius lies a troubled soul. In the gripping Netflix documentary Inside Bill's Brain, we catch a glimpse of the man behind the iconic image. Celebrating his accolades, the documentary glorifies one of many recent public tributes to Gates. Britain's Queen Elizabeth knighted him in 2005, and President Barack Obama awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the country's highest civilian honor, in 2016. In 2017, French President François Hollande followed up with the Legion of Honor. That surprisingly shrill voice caught our attention every time he answered, "I don't want my brain to stop working." What was it that caused him to shudder in terror? Why did the head that never bowed continue to arch down while meeting reporters? Witness the intimate moments as Gates grapples with his greatest fear, the fear of his own mind deteriorating. Explore the depths of his complex personality, his shrill voice, and his enigmatic gaze. What drives this brilliant mind, and what secrets lie within? Chapter 3. A childhood shaped by ambition and willpower. To truly understand Bill Gates, we must turn back the clock to his formative years. Raised in Seattle, his parents instilled in him a relentless drive for success. Winning was important. His father instilled in him quite vigorously. But behind the ambition lay a child who struggled with his own insecurities. It is the untold story of a young Gates, teased for his diminutive stature, who later found solace in the world of programming. The frustration, it was vented at his mother. When asked what he was doing alone in his room all the time, the 6-year-old, who was all in the bubble of his rage, answered, thinking. Have you ever tried it? Unbelievable, but true. A year of therapy sessions with a psychologist proved to be fruitless resistance to him, and his willpower triumphed over his parents' expectations. He was soon sent off to a private school in Seattle, where he found a close friend in Paul Allen, and the origins of programming wizards were set in place. They learned how to code, created video games, and designed a program for their school that assisted teachers in making schedules. Not just that, Time magazine reported in 2001 that Gates benefited himself in the company of the prettiest girls by secretly building a feature. Programming gave him self-confidence and made him the man we know today. At 17, Allen and Bill started off their own company under the name Allen and Gates Inc., now known as Microsoft, a portmanteau of microcomputer and software. He is the man who has continued to dominate the list of the richest men in the world for years. The man who has inspired young minds to dream more around the world, and the man who didn't sulk concerning failures or mistakes for even a bit. Yes, that is Bill Gates who taught us. It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure. We are taken aback. How did this early experience shape the man who would later reshape the tech industry? Chapter 4. Rise of a Tech Titan. Harvard dropout turned tech titan, Bill Gates left an indelible mark on the world with the founding of Microsoft. Microsoft made millions of dollars from licensing fees and grew to be one of the biggest tech companies in the world. A few years later, the first of Windows' many versions came out, and with it, Allen and Bill finally made it big. According to American media reports, the young business owners celebrated their achievement with strippers and naked parties in Gates' pool. Unleashing a wave of innovation, he rewrote the rules of the industry and amassed immense wealth. Americans have a different fascination with triumphant entrepreneurs. Success is often equated with admiration and even political power, overlooking the complexities and shadows that lie beneath the surface. Soon, wealth becomes a symbol of accomplishment, while acts of philanthropy are deemed virtuous, casting entrepreneurs as modern-day Good Samaritans. But what happens when the flaws and weaknesses of these heroes are disregarded? Join us as we explore the blurred lines between the white hats of heroism and the shades of grey that often go unnoticed. Chapter 5. Wealth was not enough. From a young prodigy to the world's youngest billionaire at the age of 31, Bill Gates was driven by more than just accumulating wealth. For over 2 decades, from 1995 to 2017, he consistently topped Forbes' list as the richest person on the planet. However, Gates' ambitions extended beyond financial success. Early on, Gates unleashed his competitive spirit on Microsoft's rivals. Notable examples include pushing out Netscape with the introduction of Internet Explorer and replicating Lotus's success with Excel. This aggressive approach earned him a reputation as the epitome of a greedy capitalist, even inspiring a parody episode of The Simpsons where he tries to sabotage a small business instead of fulfilling his promise to buy it out. Gates' behavior wasn't limited to competitors. During his co-founder Paul Allen's battle with cancer, Gates was overheard discussing ways to force Allen out and dilute his stake in Microsoft. Although they later reconciled and Gates expressed regret over the incident, it showcased his tough business mindset. Perhaps nothing captured Gates' infamy better than the 1998 incident, when an activist pied him during a business meeting in Brussels. The image of the humiliated billionaire went viral, coinciding with a critical moment for Microsoft. The U.S. Department of Justice charged the company with antitrust violations, and Gates' arrogant demeanor during a congressional hearing worsened the situation. His behavior, as described by author Ken Oleta, was likened to that of a child throwing a tantrum. Consequently, a federal judge ordered the potential breakup of Microsoft in 2000, putting Gates' life's work at risk. Although Microsoft successfully appealed and avoided the split, Gates decided to step down as CEO, handing the reins to Steve Ballmer in a bid to give the company a fresh perspective. It was also around this time that Gates publicly declared his intention to focus on philanthropy, influenced by his father. Thus, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation was established. Gradually distancing himself from Microsoft in the years that followed, Gates eventually resigned from the board in 2020. Recently, it was revealed that the decision was prompted by his involvement in a previous affair with a female employee. Nevertheless, Gates remains a significant individual shareholder, holding a 1.37% stake in the company he co-founded. Chapter 6. The Legacy and Uncertain Future. Bill Gates, renowned for his brilliance and success in the tech industry, extended his influence to the realm of philanthropy through the Gates Foundation. With assets amounting to $50 billion, the foundation has become one of the largest charitable organizations globally. Gates' leadership style mirrored his approach to running Microsoft, demanding meticulous accountability from grant recipients to ensure the effective utilization of funds. Just as Gates dedicated himself to perfecting the source code for Windows, he displayed the same fervor in overseeing the Foundation's initiatives, particularly in addressing climate change and combating infectious diseases. Notably, Gates is known for his voracious reading habits, often immersing himself in multiple books simultaneously. Among his favorites is The Great Gatsby, a novel in which he strongly identifies with the main character, Jay Gatsby. However, reports from both the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal shed light on a troubling aspect of Gates' conduct within the Foundation: his alleged habit of pursuing romantic relationships with female employees. The claims reveal that his advances began even before he married his wife, Melinda French Gates, while he served as CEO in 1987. Although they eventually tied the knot and had 3 children, Gates reportedly continued to engage in similar behavior with other employees, which was later confirmed by a spokesperson who acknowledged his affair with a Microsoft employee. Publicly, Melinda French Gates who has recently returned to using her maiden name, remains supportive of her husband. In a Netflix documentary, she affectionately spoke of falling in love with the tender and soft-hearted person behind Bill's outer shell, highlighting the laughter that filled their marriage. Heartwarming photos captured them enjoying activities like kayaking, showcasing a seemingly idyllic partnership at the forefront of the foundation world. Behind the scenes, however, cracks started to emerge. In her book, We Are Many, We Are One, published in 2019, French Gates detailed how Bill had limited her outward-facing role in the foundation for years, impeding her ability to make a substantial impact. Employees familiar with the situation disclosed instances where Gates appeared condescending toward his wife during meetings, hindering her from fully expressing herself. French Gates subtly hinted at this struggle in her book, saying, "I've been trying to find my voice as I've been speaking next to Bill, and that can make it hard to be heard." Another significant point of contention arose from Bill Gates' association with Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender. Reports revealed that Melinda had been troubled by this relationship for years. Following Epstein's arrest on charges of child trafficking, the New York Times referenced an old email from Gates, wherein he expressed intrigue but stated that Epstein's lifestyle wouldn't align with his own. To French Gates, this revelation, along with other aspects of the friendship between Gates and Epstein, came as a surprise. Subsequently, she sought advice from divorce attorneys, with legal documents describing the marriage as irretrievably broken. Despite the personal turmoil, French Gates continued to focus on initiatives aimed at empowering women's rights within the United States and around the world through the Foundation's work. The reasons behind the couple's decision to announce their divorce at this particular time remain unclear. Nevertheless, it is undeniable that Gates is not only losing his partner, but also facing the erosion of the carefully constructed, clean-cut image they built together over the past 2 decades. Restoring his reputation and regaining public trust will undoubtedly require a stroke of genius. Chapter 7: Lessons Learned, Minds Transformed. From celebrated hero to fallen idol, the story of Gates serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us that behind the mask of success may be hidden truths and untold complexities. Join us in embracing the importance of truth and transparency in our quest for understanding. Remember, the world is full of mysteries and contradictions, and it is through knowledge and discernment that we navigate these complexities. Stay tuned for more captivating episodes of Topic of the Week as we delve into the most intriguing subjects of our time.